like 4:46 right now in the morning. I've been sleeping well, but so I figured I'd uh, take the time to actually take advantage of why I created my YouTube channel, and it really was not just so I could subscribe to random channels. It had a purpose, so I figured I would actually take advantage of that purpose today. I've been waiting. When did I create my channel? Like 2, 3 years ago, and I'm just barely starting my official reason for why I created it. I had created a couple videos before this, but it wasn't like my actual purpose for this. So yes, what I'm trying to say is I want to make sure that I use this channel for why I created it, and that the whole purpose is to bring awareness to issues in this world that people are ignoring, that they choose to create a blind eye to, and frankly, that's really got to stop because it's hurting the world. And I am a Christian, so I believe in God and I believe in the Christian faith. So just with everything that's happening in this world, I mean, it's kind of too late to change anything because our destiny has already been fated, and with the way the world's going, well, but I figured try, like why not? So we're gonna start with something that was actually brought to my attention yesterday. Um, just because I've been paying attention to the news on my laptop because I have Google News, so I check it every day. And for the past 5 days, every time I check, the first thing that pops up is a shooting, then another shooting, and another shooting, and another shooting, and another shooting, and another shooting. So I decided to look up the statistics. Yesterday. It feels like every time I get on my laptop, there's a shooting that's happening. So I figured I would write the statistics. So let's do this. Sorry, because I know that that is not recent list. See, since since the 11th, I know that. Oh, oh, what the heck? Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the statistics now. Sorry, I probably should have had this up before now. But so when I checked it the other day, it said we had 107. Just this year alone in 2021, we've had 107. But now updates are saying 147, which means we went up 47 in like a week. So, that's really not good. So, I mean, you gotta think about this. Like 147 in almost 5 months, like that's not good. And that's just United States. That's not like the world or anything like that. That's just here in the United States. There have been 147 mass shootings. That's not even counting little minor shootings. These are all mass shootings. Um, really not good at all. It's really not. Um, So I figured we'll talk about it today. We'll talk about gun violence and my my perspective on this, as well as bringing in statistics and whatnot, because this is a major thing. Okay, a really major issue here in the United States. So this year alone, like I said, there have been 147 mass shootings, and um, what is defined as a mass shooting is a single incident involving three or more people who have been shot in a public place, excluding the shooter. They don't even have to die. If they're shot, it's still considered something serious. So, I mean, jeez, this is bad. Okay. With all of the mass shootings, there have been, like I said, 147. So let's see, 147 mass shootings. Let's see how many were dead. People have died in this year's uh, this really not good. Not in 2020. 2021. This is really, it's not good. So we're gonna see if I can find the death toll. Eesh. Damn. Okay. I wanna know like the death toll so far. That I can't find. It keeps saying the numbers. It's not saying like. So let's just look at the list of the mass shooting. That's not updated. It's so, let's see. Oh, it is updated. Okay, so April 9th, or April 19th, my bad. There was a shooting in Houston, Texas. 2 dead and 3 injured, so a total of 5 people. On April 18th, in Montgomery, Alabama, 1 dead, 4 injured, total of 5. April 18th, in Shreveport, not good at pronouncing names, Louisiana, 0 dead, 5 injured, a total of 5 victims. Also on April 18th, in Detroit, Michigan, 1 dead, 5 injured, a total of 6 victims. April 18th as well in Kenosha, Wisconsin, 3 dead, 2 injured, a total of 5 victims. On April 17th in Laplace, Louisiana, 0 dead, 9 injured, a total of 9 victims. April 17th in Columbus, Ohio, 1 dead, 5 injured, a total of 6 victims. All of those, let's see. So the one in Texas was in Independence Heights. The one in Alabama was over the weekend. It doesn't say exactly where. The one in Louisiana was on Hearn Avenue. The one in Michigan had to do with a car crash about a man that drove through a crime scene and fired shots. Um, the one in Wisconsin was at a tavern. The one in Louisiana was at a birthday party. Now that's just sad. A 12-year-old was having a birthday party. Somebody decided to go shoot up the place. They're lucky nobody died. The one in Ohio was at a vigil for a homicide victim. They're there paying tribute to someone who was killed, ruthlessly murdered and they're shot. See, that's sad. That's really sad. Only one person was killed, but 5 others were injured. On the 16th, there was one in Detroit, Michigan. Nobody was killed. 4 people were shot at a vigil on the east side. On April 15th, in Indianapolis, Indiana, was the FedEx shooting. 7 down, 9 killed, 7 injured, a total of 16 victims. The shooter was identified as a former employee. On April 15th, in Washington, D.C., there was a shooting. 0 dead, 4 injured. Okay. You see where this is going? Between January 1st, had 4 shootings between Arkansas, Texas, Iowa, and Illinois. January 3rd had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 in Florida, 1 in Oregon, 1 in Texas, 1 in California, and 1 in Louisiana. January 4th had 2, 1 in Florida and 1 in Louisiana. Yeah, Florida and Louisiana are popular for shootings this year. January 6th had 2 in Texas and Virginia. And Texas is becoming popular too. Oh, they're all popular. January 7th had 1, that was in Washington, D.C. January 9th had 2 in Texas and Illinois. January 11th had 1, that was in Florida. January 15th had 1, that was in Pennsylvania. January 16th had 2 in Illinois and California. January 17th had 2 in Arizona, both in Arizona, and both in Phoenix, Arizona. One was at a nightclub and one was at a strip mall. January 18th had 1, that was in Pennsylvania. January 20th had 1, that was in Louisiana. January 22nd had 1, that was in Kentucky. January 24th had 2 in Nevada and Indiana. January 25th had 1, Washington, D.C. January 27th had 1 in California. January 28th had 1 in Michigan. January 29th had 1 in Pennsylvania. January 30th had 1 in New York. February 1st had 1 in New York. February 2nd had 2, 1 in Florida and 1 in Oklahoma. February 3rd had 3, 1 in Tennessee and 2 in Colorado. 1 was in Colorado Springs and 1 was in Oak Creek, Colorado. February 4th had 1 in North Carolina. February 5th had 3 in Pennsylvania, Virginia, and Mississippi. February 6th had 1, 2, 3, 4 in Illinois, Tennessee, Washington, and Louisiana. February 8th had 1 in Alabama. February 9th had 2 in Minnesota and Texas. February 10th and 11th both had 1 in each day in Georgia. 1 was in Columbus, Georgia on the 11th, and on the 10th it was in Atlanta, Georgia. February 13th had 1, 2, 3, 4 in California, 2 in California actually, 1 in Oakland and 1 in San Francisco, then 1 in Indiana and North Carolina. February 16th had 1 in Florida. February 17th had 1 in Pennsylvania. Not a long list. This is really bad. I'm not going to go through all this list. This is too much. But by the looks of things, Texas, Louisiana, Michigan, Florida, Illinois, or like Texas, California. And I know that there says there's 1 in Boulder, Colorado. If I remember correctly, wasn't there like another like really bad thing that happened there sometime in the 20,000s, 2000s, 2000s? I don't know. That gun violence is a real issue, and while I do not approve of Biden's plan to get rid of guns, I really do feel like there should be like certain people that deserve it and certain people that don't. Gun violence is a real issue if you can't tell. So, I really feel like there should be stronger gun laws, but at the same time, I don't feel like we should tax people for their guns or get rid of guns or take guns away from people that already rightfully and lawfully own them because uh, that would be against the Second Amendment. And I also do not think it is right to get rid of the Second Amendment either because, um, in all honesty, without that Second Amendment, America probably wouldn't have made it as long as we did. So, that Second Amendment protects a lot of people, and just like anything, not just guns, anybody can use something for good or for bad. Guns can be used for good or they can be used for bad. It depends on the person and how they use it. So, getting rid of guns isn't going to do anything because we have gun violence, right? I mean, you get rid of guns, and the next thing we're going to have is probably going to be like knife violence or something like that. They're going to go around stabbing random people in the streets instead of shooting them. You get rid of knives, and they're probably going to start throwing bricks at everybody, and it's going to be brick violence or whatnot. Then you get rid of. The point is that no matter how many weapons or whatever you choose to get rid of, they're going to find something that these people that you're taking their guns away from that use it to shoot up are going to use. And then what you're going to end up having nothing. Because no matter what you do, they're gonna find something. So taking guns away isn't gonna do anything ever, ever at all. They're just gonna find something else. So it's stupid and useless. Now it is definitely an issue. Um, because it has to stop. It really does have to stop. There's just too many innocent people dying that don't deserve to. I don't know. That's my view. Everybody is entitled to their opinion. You don't have to agree with my view. That's my view. And the whole purpose was to bring awareness to the fact that in 2021 alone, there have been 147 mass shootings, and some of them have had 4 or 5 a day. Some of them have had 2 or 3 on the same day in the same place. Like, that's not good. But that doesn't mean to take away guns. That's not going to solve the problem, Biden. It's really not. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is you can have guns, but use them wisely. Um, gun violence is a real problem. Be more aware of who or what has a gun and where or why they have the gun. Don't land your guns out to anybody. Don't ever let a gun out. If they want a gun, then have them register themselves for a gun. Because lending your gun, like even if it's a family member, like you could just be like your aunt or sister or cousin or niece or nephew or grandma or grandpa or whatnot might be in trouble and you might be tempted to be like, hey, I have a gun you can borrow to protect yourself. But that's dangerous because what if you give that gun to your family member or friend or whatnot, and then they decide to maybe shut it down somewhere, or maybe they get robbed or something like that, and it ends up in the wrong hands. So it's never a good idea to share guns. And I'm not saying don't do it, because obviously if you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it, but I wouldn't. It can become a problem because end up going places that you don't mean for it to go, and then somebody's gonna end up with that gun and they're gonna use it to shoot up a place and kill people and injure people. And I don't know. I just I feel like I'm talking too much. So I'm gonna stop talking about this. Uh, next time I'm going to do something that's very personal towards me, because I went through it, and I'm going to talk about child abuse and child neglect, as well as the foster system here in New Mexico, and why I have absolutely no faith in CYFD. I don't know when I'll do that video, but I will be doing that video, so just keep an eye out for it if you want to watch it.